Previously on The Sims 4 Big Brother. Nox nominated Joaquin, while Kaori nominated Dina. The pressure was on at the Power of Veto competition, leading to our first argument between Diego and Kaori. However, Dina was able to pull through and win the Power of Veto, removing herself from the block, leaving Kaori to nominate Vanessa as the replacement nominee. Akira and Zoe decide to make their showmance a little bit more official, thankfully in private. While our two nominees partied and had a good time in the have-not room. Joaquin's strategy was to maintain his relationships with the boys, even if it did upset his girlfriend. However, Joaquin only managed to get 3 votes, and with a final vote of 7-3, Joaquin was the third person to be evicted from the Big Brother house. After making it official with Joaquin before his departure, will Angela be able to survive in the house without him? And who will win the new head of household as level 3 now enters the game? What will it do? What twist is going to be unleashed? Find out now on The Sims 4 Big Brother. Now, as we know, every week has a new theme. However, with 2 weeks in a row being 2 HOHs, I thought it would be nice to have level 3 just be a classic game of Big Brother, meaning only one person is going to win HOH for the week. They're going to nominate 2 people, whoever they want. They will have a power of veto, and then one person will be going home at the end of the week. So, super simple, no real twist to be had this week. However, we're going to have everyone go ahead and head on into that backyard competition arena, and we're going to start our new head of household competition. Now, Nox and Kaori, because you were head of household last week, you guys cannot compete. However, the power is now up for grabs. Welcome to Big Brother's Gym and the Pump It Up HOH competition. When I say go, all of you will get on your machines, and whoever lasts the longest wins. So let's go ahead and get on your machines, and why don't I just turn off the lights too? Let's make it a little bit more challenging from the get-go. Now, we have had a gym available all season long, and we've seen plenty of our house guests taking part, especially Dina. She has been really fighting hard in that gym. Maybe it will give her a little bit of an advantage. However, she is not the only one. I know Rashida has been hitting the bag recently, and we've had a few others like on the treadmill. Bob has been in there quite a bit, so we'll see just who makes it through. But it looks as though Dina right now is definitely in the lead. But who knows, she might actually power herself out, pump it up a bit too much, and get out of the competition a bit early. Maybe it's these people who are taking it a bit slow, having a bit of a harder time that will last the longest. And it looks as though Vanessa is the first one off of her machine and the first one out of the competition. So she's just going to go ahead and have a seat in the middle for us. And almost like it was all agreed upon. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but everyone quits at the same time except for one person, making Angela our new head of household. I was actually pretty surprised. I don't know why everyone quit. We don't see them having to use the bathroom or what it was, but Angela is powering through. She even continues to work out for quite a bit after we've already announced her win, but Angela is the new head of household. Maybe she got some extra determination from Joaquin's departure. You know, she now has an official boyfriend, but he's been kicked out by these people left in the house, and now she is going to seek revenge, which I kind of love. I'm pretty excited to see what she does for the week. And of course, I'm so curious what you guys think of Angela winning Head of Household. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of everything. And again, you can download all of these Sims and the house and everything over at the Sims Gallery at Hot Dogs Sims. We see that Dina seems a little bit fired up after that competition. I think especially me, but maybe herself and everyone else kind of expected her to win. And she's getting out that anger she has from not winning out on the punching bag, while Angela goes upstairs to explore her Head of Household room. We see Kaori is having a good time with the cute little hamster. I just love him so much. And it seems as though Zoe is trying to seek a little bit of guidance from the future cube. It seems Angela is immediately enjoying that private HOH bathroom and cleaning it up a little bit, surprisingly. Meanwhile, outside we see Mark and Knox enjoying a game of foosball. And the weather is just perfect right now. Everyone's really enjoying the garden because here in Del Sol Valley, the weather is always nice and it's just the middle of summer. It's pretty hot, but not too hot. Unlike where I'm living right now, where it is boiling. Okay, I'm completely avoiding going outside right now. Unlike these house guests, we see Rashida is hitting that bag as well today, while Akira and Diego try to give her some advice on the sidelines. We see Vanessa is spending some alone time in the arcade. Again, that seems to be everyone's spot to kind of get away and have some fun by themselves. Meanwhile, in the living room, Dina and Kaori have kind of cornered Angela and are really trying to drive home the fact that the girls should still be sticking together. She shouldn't be coming after them. Even though, I mean, Kaori did nominate girls, but whatever. I mean, the team's choice were into place. She only had a few people she was able to choose from, you know? Like, she isn't coming after Angela. She's not the one that nominated Joaquin. And they're just kind of press on those sort of girls' alliances onto Angela in hopes that she will stick by that when it comes to nominations. Meanwhile, outside, we see that Bob and Rohan have kind of formed this twosome. The two of them have really started bonding. Maybe it's like a father-son relationship. And it doesn't seem like I'm the only one that notices. We see Vanessa actually standing up there, grabbing some beer and watching from above. I feel like Vanessa, she keeps those sunglasses on at all times, and she's watching everyone. And I think she sees everything. However, that group in the living room continues to grow around Angela. This time we see that it's almost all the girls and Diego. I feel like Diego, being the only real gay male in the house, I'm not too surprised that he's trying to kind of edge his way into this girls' alliance, especially because we see him trying to bond with a lot of the guys. Earlier we saw him talking to Akira, and then we saw him trying to talk to Bob and Rohan, and he isn't really getting anything from them necessarily. So it actually might be best for his game to try to join this all-girls alliance. Maybe he can be kind of the spy to the boys' side. However, I don't really think they need that much of a connection to the boys' side, as we saw earlier with Zoe hooking up with Akira. I think that kind of helps have that for them already. And speaking of Zoe, remember how I said that she could possibly be having like a three-way showmance / alliance forming between her, Mark, and Akira? Well, she did make her and Akira's showmance official, and now it seems as though Mark is trying to make it official as well, if you know what I'm saying, because he does ask her to woohoo, and of course she agrees. The two of them end up heading into the bedroom, and I don't know where Akira is currently, but I can't tell or not if he's going to be mad about this. I mean, they've always kind of been openly flirting with each other. The two guys flirted with her originally, so maybe this could actually be a three-way showmance. But before I can officially find out, the power goes out. Yeah, oopsie. It was actually my fault. I just forgot to pay the bills. And I did try and look around and find Akira, and he was actually upstairs playing chess with Nox and doesn't seem to know anything that's going on downstairs in the bedroom. And even though it would be kind of fun to make my house guest live in the dark, I am going to go ahead and pay the bills. It was my bad anyway, and we're going to turn that power back on. Inside the gym, we see that Kaori is kind of dusting off her shoulders, looking at herself in the mirror like, damn, I'm good this week. Even though I was HOH, I should be good. And, even Cassandra comes in and sniffs her ass and says, damn, girl, your ass smells good. And she's like, thank you, I know. And I thought the conversation was going to keep going in that direction. However, it suddenly turns. I don't know if Cassandra is defending Diego or if they're rehashing that argument. Either way, it's like such a back and forth conversation. One second, Cassandra is laughing and joking. The next second, she's yelling at her. I don't really know what is going on.
Imbaliness wabarani bayumi squirmish. Fanay.
It does seem, however, that any hope of this conversation going back into a joking, friendly one is totally out of the window now. It's just a full-blown argument. And this is the second argument that Kaori has got into, and I feel like since her HOH, she is just digging herself an even bigger hole. Surprisingly, though, this isn't with Angela, and that's all that really matters for the week. After the girls have cemented their safety for the week with Angela, it looks as though Diego is still trying to make sure he's good. He knows that the boys are in trouble this week, and he wants to make sure that the girls feel safe with him. But I don't know if I would trust Diego. I haven't checked out his relationship statuses in a while, but would you trust him? I don't know, but he is working really hard, and if he is able to build up enough relationships with Angela before nominations, I'm sure she'll probably keep him safe. When it comes to Zoe and Mark, they have finished up their business, and Zoe struts her stuff completely nude all the way to the bathroom, which is like on the opposite side of the house, just to get into the shower. So not only was she woohooing with, a room that had no door, but now for everyone who had missed that show, they get a little encore performance just from Zoe. I mean, at least when Mark came over to take a shower, he at least had some shorts on, but I feel like Zoe has completely forgotten there's an outside world to Big Brother, and she has just no inhibitions anymore. In the gym, we see that Nox and Kaori are having a little bit of a conversation, and I, of course, immediately expected it to turn into an argument, and was surprised to see it not go that way. I just keep expecting her to make more and more enemies with every conversation she has. Now, outside, that game of horseshoe still continues with Bob and Rohan. However, Vanessa noticed earlier the two of them hanging out an awful lot, so she's kind of decided to wedge herself in between. She's trying to make sure that if there is any guy alliance going on, that she's going to be part of it. And I mean, you can't really carry that kind of information around in The Sims Big Brother. You can't rat on an alliance like you would in real life. Instead, you kind of have to get into the alliance and just try to make sure you're in as many as possible. You can't really get caught necessarily like you would in real life. I think a lot of the Sims in the house keep getting distracted, whether it's through woohoo and them zeroing in on one sim and just focusing on them all the time, or they're too distracted with all the different kinds of amenities and games that are in the house, where a lot of them really aren't building that many relationships. And I feel like the people that are going to get to the end are the ones that are talking to everyone, kind of like Vanessa is right now. But it looks as though aggression is in the air of the Big Brother house, as we see Bob eventually gets a little bit annoyed, and I don't think he's too keen on the idea of Vanessa or potentially any girls joining his alliance. Meanwhile, inside, it looks as though dinner has been served, and mostly all the girls are the ones gathering to eat. I'm really curious how long this girls versus boys sort of dynamic is going to last, and if it's going to last almost throughout the entire game. I definitely didn't expect it to have this much longevity when I first picked it to be level 1's twist, but I just find it really interesting how often we see the girls hanging out together and the boys hanging out together, and there isn't really that much intermingling unless it's in a romantic way. Back upstairs in the HOH room, Angela is enjoying all the amenities of having a private HOH room. First the bathroom, and now a little bit of self-love. Meanwhile, Akira is having a bit of alone time of his own inside the arcade room. In the storage room, we have a bit of a confrontation happening between Mark and Diego. I think all of the guys are pretty much well aware that Diego is trying to get bonds with the girls. And I mean, they are able to make this work for them if he will bring back information on the girls to them, which I think is what Mark is trying to persuade him with. But Mark, over the past few days, has been forming a paranoid trait, and it's getting the best of him just a little bit. He's trying to play it off, trying to be cool, but you can tell there's like a little glimmer of crazy in his eye while he talks. And I think Diego can see that as well. So I'm not too sure how well this conversation is going to go for Mark in the end. Zoe, Vanessa, Dina, and Kaori are all enjoying dinner together, and it looks as though Kaori is still a bit agitated from all of her recent arguments. Meanwhile, she is staying far away from Cassandra in hopes of keeping the girls still together and not fracturing even more. Outside, we see that Rashida and Nox are enjoying a game of ping pong.
Aha!
Outside, Angela finally musters up the courage to join this game of horseshoe that's been going on all day with Rohan and Bob. Now, I think it's pretty obvious the two of them are becoming a gruesome twosome, and I personally, if I was Angela, would consider nominating them. And it looks as though conversation does turn a little bit sour as she tries to ask where their alliances lie, who they would go after. As she tries to get any kind of information from them, it soon turns into an argument between her and Rohan, while Bob just kind of minds his business and continues playing the game. Out of everyone in the house to argue with, I don't think arguing with the HOH is a good idea, and this could be a crucial mistake in Rohan's game. I feel like all we need is Kaori over here, and we would have everyone that's involved in drama right here. I mean, we got Zoe, who's in a love triangle. Cassandra and Kaori have been fighting. Vanessa is building relationships with everyone. Angela is now having this argument with Rohan. I mean, Bob is just sitting there so sad. I don't think he wanted this argument to happen at all. And I feel like all day they've been trying to plan something big, and for it to come down to this is a bit disappointing. Meanwhile, inside we see that Akira is in a bit of a pickle, as on his way to the bathroom he can't make it and ends up pissing himself. How often is this gonna happen? However, it has been a pretty busy day inside the Sims Big Brother house, and they've been up basically all night. So as this day comes to a close, we see that almost everyone ends up finding somewhere soft for them to lay their head and either take a nap or go straight to sleep. And eventually, there isn't many house guests actually left awake. Apart from Rashida and Dina, we see them playing outside while everyone else slowly crawls into bed. I'm just surprised that Zoe's going to bed alone for once. Meanwhile, upstairs we see after a day of scheming and trying to find safety, Diego is relaxing in the arcade. Now, while everyone is heading to bed, I think now is a great time to remind all of you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stupid YouTube stuff that you gotta say in every single video, in hopes that you guys will actually do it. but you know, whatever. Also, I have a few surprises I'm going to announce here in this upcoming week, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled because it does involve my next big series. And as a last reminder, if you want to download this Big Brother shell, you're totally able to and decorate it yourself over on the Sims gallery at Hot Dogs Sims, or you can download this house and all the Sims along with it. Outside, Rashida and Dina find themselves in a bit of a rare occasion where they're actually all alone in the Big Brother house. And the two of them soon turn a friendly game of ping pong into something a bit more. We see that first Dina actually is the one that initiates the flirting, but Rashida receives it just fine, and the two of them start playing a bit of ping pong with flirting back and forth. Could this be a new showmance in the making? And as Rashida takes a nice cold outdoor shower to kind of, cool off from getting all hot and bothered with Dina, why don't we go ahead and fast forward to the next day and see exactly who Angela is going to nominate. Alright, now this is the nomination ceremony, and for the first time this season, there is just one head of household. So we're back to basics, and Angela will be choosing two people to face eviction. And all of this, of course, is going to be based on her relationships, and the two house guests she is least closest to will be the two house guests she nominates for eviction. And this time, everyone but her is up for grabs. So why don't we go ahead and take a peek and see who she is and isn't closest to. Alright, and based off that, the first person Angela is going to nominate is Mark. Mark, you have been nominated for eviction, but there is still one more. And the second person Angela has decided to nominate is Rohan. Rohan and Mark, the two of you now face eviction. However, there is still a chance of winning the power of veto and saving yourself, but that is going to be in the next episode. So make sure you guys stick around for the Wednesday episode where we have an all-new power of veto. Will the nominations stay the same? Will Rohan and Mark face eviction on Friday's eviction? Or will they save themselves? You have to stay tuned and find out. I love all my beanie weenies. Please leave a comment down below and I will respond to all of them. And stay tuned. I'll see you guys later on. Bye.